Hey, what's going on everyone, Vasco here and welcome back to the channel. And just this week I saw on Twitter a few pictures that worried me actually quite a lot about the upcoming Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So this is a track that's due in the next 4 to 5 weeks. So we have Mexico, then Brazil, then Qatar, then a week off. Then we have the Jeddah Grand Prix, which is a track that's technically a street circuit, but most of it, including the pit building, and about half of the track will be built purposely for the Grand Prix this year. So just a few weeks ago, nothing actually existed at the track, and the photos that you can see on your screen actually tell a very different story from what Formula 1 is telling. So Formula 1 is telling that they are going to be able to host a Grand Prix in the next 4 to 5 weeks, but if you look at the pictures that I have on my screen right now, you'd actually doubt that they could make a Grand Prix in the next couple of months, let alone the next couple of weeks. So I'm very worried for the state of the Jeddah Grand Prix, and I'm honestly expecting a cancellation in the next couple of weeks. But now let's react together at a video that Formula 1 just released, trying to hype up the Grand Prix and show you the track, but actually what they end up showing is just a construction site. So I don't really know why Formula 1 just released this video, but those are spoilers. Let's actually check the video out together right now. Okay, but now we are here at the computer, so let's take a look at the video that Formula 1 just released trying to hype up the new Formula 1 Jeddah Grand Prix. And let's actually see together the state that the track is in right now. Now, I'm not going to have audio on the video, but you can see every single image as I see it with you. Okay, so now let's press play and they show you the scenery, and right away you can see in the first seconds, like, what is this? Like, Formula 1 cars are supposed to be here in the next couple of weeks, so this is a construction site. There's nothing here, there are no grandstands, the only thing that's finished is actually the lights. And if you see the video right through to the end, you actually know that they need the lights to build the track because they can only build at night because of the temperatures in Jeddah. But taking a look at the video, you see that Rosanna Tennant is standing here right in the front of what's supposed to be the pit building. So you see these slots right here where my mouse is? These are supposed to be the garages that the Formula 1 teams are going to use in just the next couple of weeks. And now you can call me a negative kind of person and a glass half empty kind of person, but I really don't see this Grand Prix being ready on time. Now, looking at these images and looking at the rest of the video, you can see that this is an authentic construction site and they try to hide it, but just look at this picture right here. What is this? This is not a Grand Prix track. There are no curbs, the asphalt is not finalized because you cannot just put Formula 1 cars in asphalt that trucks have been in. You need to prepare the asphalt for Formula 1 cars. And you don't have buildings, you don't have the infrastructure, you don't have the grandstands. How is this going to be a Grand Prix in the next couple of weeks? Now, I don't want to be negative, but if you look at this video, I think you can agree with me. And they clearly tried to hide some parts of the track, but look at this. Like, this won't happen. I don't think that this event will actually happen. I think that they will have to cancel this right at the last second. Now, I think that this will be ready for April, May, when they are trying to do the second race there. So I think it's right around the second race of the year next year. But I just don't see this being ready for 2021. And now let's actually discuss the options that Formula 1 has in order to replace this race. Wait guys, I just figured it out. This is not supposed to be a Formula 1 track. This is supposed to be in the WRC. Okay, now let's actually talk about what are the options that Formula 1 has in order to replace this race. Now, I think that they must replace this race and they cannot just cancel it, because this is not a season like we had in 2020 where Lewis Hamilton just walks away with the title and Mercedes wins the title with 5 or 6 rounds to go. No, this is a very tight battle that's going down to the end. And you cannot just take away a race just before the end of the season and expect the fans to be okay with it, because this is a very tight battle, and all of the strategic decisions like where to take a power unit penalty, which parts to use, which upgrades to bring, they're all taking into account making these 22 races happen. So in the beginning of the season you could make adjustments, but so near to the end you cannot, because imagine that Lewis wins the title and Jeddah doesn't happen. Well, every single Max fan is going to tell you Max just didn't win the title because there was one race less, and vice versa. If Max wins the title, Lewis fans are going to say that. So you cannot change the season at this point. The sprint races are controversy enough for this title race. So let's actually discuss what are the options that Formula 1 has in order to replace this race. and in my eyes they only have two feasible options, but one of them is really much better than the other. So they can either do a second Qatar race, so they are already in Qatar for the Qatar Grand Prix, and the track is already built, is ready for another race, and is very near Abu Dhabi, so there would be no problem in just taking a week off and making a double Qatar race. So Qatar, then a week off, then Qatar again. But now the option that I think it's most likely is for us to actually do another Bahrain. So Bahrain always seems to be ready to receive Formula 1, and Bahrain actually has one advantage that not a lot of tracks have, is that they have two great layouts that have proven to be great for racing. So Bahrain is one of the few tracks where just with the flip of a switch you can transform the track from what we know, the Grand Prix circuit, into that outer loop that we had last year, and that was great fun, wasn't it? Even without the George Russell drama at Mercedes, it was great fun to have a race at the outer loop. So I think that Bahrain, being close by, so if you look at the locations of Bahrain and Abu Dhabi and Jeddah, they're all in the same geographical region, so in the Middle East. So you could realistically have a second race at Bahrain. It would be a big push for the teams to change all of their logistics now, and you would probably need to make way in the budget cap so that they could really move all of their stuff and adapt their strategies in order to have a second Bahrain race. So a race in the outer loop of Bahrain is totally different, and the aero parts you're going to bring to that race are totally different than the parts you would bring to a tight and twisty street circuit just like Jeddah would be. So I think that what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks is that Jeddah will be dropped, because just looking at the images I just showed you, I think there's no way that track is going to be ready on time, and I think we are going to have a second race in Bahrain, and I hope it's the outer loop because we already had the inner loop before. It's a great race, but we already have it, so in order to create some diversity, I hope the race that happens isn't that fun outer loop. So this is what I think is going to happen, and let me know in the comments down below if you think there's any chance of the Jeddah race happening, because honestly I think there isn't, and I think that Formula 1 are just being very overly optimistic. And honestly I think that videos that they are releasing, just like the video we just saw, are just like trying to plant in the viewers' brains that this race is not going to happen and trying to justify why, even though they are telling you that a big push is being made for it to be ready on time. So this has been it for this video, and I really don't want to be negative. I really just want to break down this news to you because I honestly find this to be a little bit ridiculous that Formula 1 aren't taking more steps in order to tell teams that this race is probably not going to happen and that we are probably going to move everything to Bahrain. So what a crazy season that we are having, and it may have a crazy unexpected ending because of this track. So this has been it for this video. Let me know if you guys enjoyed in the comments down below, and let me know if you think that this race is going ahead. So this has been it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, check this video right here. I think you guys will enjoy it. So this has been it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.